Hello, friends. It's Chapo.
Next question.
Let's go.
Hello, Chappos. I'll get right to the point. There's this guy I've been talking to. We butt heads. He's the strong, silent type, but I can't tell if that's masculinity hiding his feelings or if there's, like, something in the way. And if I may bend the rules a little bit, I know how much you love that. But is Amber in this episode, or are you all just talking over her again? I'll take my answer off the air.
Okay. I gotta say, cheers to this caller, because that is one of the best Mark Hamill Joker impressions I've ever. That caller may have been Mark Hamill for all I know. But I mean, like, to his question, I'm assuming this is the Joker talking about Batman, who's a strong, silent type who he's into. And I like that idea. And, like, you know, Mr. J, my advice to you would be, like, just keep committing funny crimes. You know, you're going to keep getting the attention of this strong, silent type. And, like, you know, just build off that. Build on your shared love of you doing crimes and him stopping you from doing crimes. It's flirtation. You know, that's what flirtation is like. It's the free song. It's the spark that keeps things interesting.
You know, I had a girl I was pursuing once, and she blocked me on Twitter, Instagram, Gmail, Hotmail, Proton Mail, regular mail, WeChat, Weibo, and Bebo. But she would correspond with me and argue with me vociferously through messages sent by pigeon. And I brought this up to somebody once, a wiser, more experienced friend. And I said, I think it's over between us. And he said, she wouldn't be arguing with you if she thought it was over. Women never do that. I think it's the same with men. With guys, you know, where one guy's a clown who knows he's gay. The other guy doesn't know he's gay. He wouldn't be trying to capture you. You know, when he finds the Riddler, he's like, I'm not doing your riddle. Fuck off. He's done with him. But when you do a scary crime, he's like, oh, I gotta go get scared.
No,
he still likes you.
Be worried when Batman doesn't show up.
Yeah.
Next time you kidnap Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah. You know,
and by the way, like, you don't need to worry about it. Batman / Bruce Wayne is definitely gay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, let's do like two more. Okay, this is from Riley B.
Hey, Chapo Bros. What do you guys think is the funniest thing that has ever happened?
Okay, this is an easy one for me. The funniest thing that has ever happened in human history, that will certainly not be topped in my lifetime, is Donald Trump becoming president of the United States. The fact that Donald Trump was and will forever be the 45th president of the United States of America is the funniest thing that's ever happened, in my opinion.
And there's just so many nesting subsidiary funny things inside that. I mean, that are inextricably linked to it. It's very hard to pick something else.
I think it has to be that, just because there's so many funny things would not have happened without that. If we're going just one single thing that happened in and of itself, maybe Hillary fainting on 9/11. That's up there.
That's pretty good.
When Trump got COVID, that's a great singular thing. Something that always made me laugh a lot to the point of tears when I first heard about it. I'm fucking up the exact phrase, but it's the admiral who cried during World War II because he thought high command was being mean to him.
Admiral Halsey.
Halsey,
yeah.
And it was what was the exact quote?
Yeah, so they sent him this coded transmission, and in order to defeat code breaking from the Japanese, the code messages were bracketed with lorem ipsum, just gibberish, just words to mask it so that they couldn't like pull a pattern out of the language. And so the message ended with like they were saying like it was an order for him to do something, and then it ended with like the world stands waiting. And it was read off by the clerk, who usually doesn't read the things off the end because it felt like it flowed into the sentence. And so he heard it, and he thought they were being like mean and sarcastic to him, that he wasn't moving fast enough, and he just broke down in tears and went to his room in the middle of the Battle of Midway.
Those are always anything about like old military commanders who were like Queenie and crying all the time always kills me.
MacArthur puking after getting yelled at by FDR.
Yes. Yeah, those really get me.
That photo of Eisenhower sitting on a bench, cross-legged, looking fruity as hell.
Yes, Donald Trump electing. It's just the perfect punchline.
That's the thing.
It's the
setup,
the historical
Yeah.
equivalent of what do you call that? The aristocrats.
Yeah, no, exactly. Donald Trump is president. That's the aristocrats for the entire American project.
Yeah.
It is all led to that moment, and we'll never, ever get over it.
Yep, can't happen.
It's just, oh, man.
All right, one last one. People always like to ask a little inside baseball question. This one is from Cy P.
Hi, this is Cy from Virginia. I love the Chapo Trap House, and I want to ask all of the inside baseball questions. What's the prep like for this show? Sometimes it seems like you just get on stage and make up a show from nothing, but you're doing a show, so clearly prep has occurred. What's that like? Do you guys have any rules with each other about what you always or never do? Thank you. I will go back to being autistic now.
Well, to answer your question, it's just a pill.
Is he talking about the live shows or just the regular show?
I think just all of it. I mean,
Okay,
I mostly wanted to include this for the won'ts and can'ts question.
Okay.
There is prep, but it is mostly done by Will.
Yeah.
Me and Felix really don't do anything. It's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, the last time I did like any prep for it was last tour. There was a segment and like a script I wrote out, but I haven't done anything like that this tour. I would say sometimes I write something like 2 days before, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I literally just do nothing. Most of the time, I just show up.
Well, I mean, like, I certainly don't resent the fact that Matt and Felix don't prepare, because I really think that the best parts of the show are like what I can do is kind of like the guy who takes the ball up the court and like sort of sets the pace, runs the offense, whatever inside baseball metaphor you want to say, is I think we get the best material when I get genuinely like off the cuff reactions from Matt and Felix. So like the less they know going into a show will lead to a better outcome, because I want their authentic reactions in the moment rather than like, anything that they've prepared for. And, and also I got to say shout out to our research assistant, Justin, who we just hired. He's been helping me collate information, just create like a sort of a skeleton for the show. And I just think like there's things I use and I don't use, but like I want to prepare just enough that gives us all the freedom to be completely off the cuff and go chase any direction we'd like to go. And the thing is, I do probably more preparation for the live shows, probably like a lot more preparation for the live shows, because, there really is no safety net. You can't just pause or like, retake something. And, and people have paid money to see a show. So I really don't want there to be any lulls or dead air or anything that's just like, that doesn't land. But yeah, like for the podcast, I think the enduring appeal of the show is that we don't try very hard.
Yeah.
I don't think we really have do's and don'ts. I think because we all at this point know like what we're interested in and aren't. I think one thing we all understand is that there's stuff that we find funny and maybe would like to make fun of or talk about, but if it involves people who are like below a certain level of notoriety, it pains us, but it feels like it's on balance not worth it to call attention to them.
No free clout here.
Yeah.
And also,
we know that because we were recipients of so much free
Yeah,
clout
oh my
by
God.
people above us.
Thank
That
you.
made
Please,
us.
sir, may I have some more?
Well, there were $10,000 articles written about us. Articles that were worth an extra $10,000 a month in 2016.
yeah, and like I guess like the other thing I like sort of consciously eschew doing is ever we did it like very early on in the show because I thought it was so novel and I was kind of excited by it, but like I haven't for a long time, and I consciously try to avoid talking about people who like criticize the show or bringing up our own press, good or bad, because I think that's kind of solipsistic and a little bit navel gazing, and it's just like I just think like you can't drink too much of your own Kool-Aid. Can't get high off your own supply.
Yeah. It rings of unless you have something like amazing and new for it, which like sometimes there is. I think for the most part, like covering your own coverage of yourself is just it's the same genre of people who retweet every compliment about their new article. It just gives them the same feeling.
But hey, this would be a perfect time to announce we are rolling out in Q1 2023 a new $1,000 a month Patreon tier in which you can hear us talk about They could be talking about internet weirdo. It'd be just the most, just all the creeps and freaks that we love to talk about in private, but would never bring up on the show because it isn't worth giving attention to these people. But if you subscribe for $1,000 a month, you'll hear the forbidden riffs.
I've fantasized about as a live show. I don't know if this would be technically possible, but doing the Forbidden Riffs live show where it's like the venue is like inside a Faraday cage.
Yeah, everyone puts their phones in a bag.
Everybody puts their phones. Everybody signs an NDA with very strict repercussions. And do just all the off mic riffs.
And like
in a place where and yes, the tickets would cost $1,000.
And like again, and I need to be clear here. Like this is only because as satisfying as it would be to make fun of certain people, these people. Like, again, we should know their lifeblood is attention from people like us, good or bad.
Yes.
And in fact, bad is even better. So I'm not trying to fucking start beefs or argue with anyone because that shit is free clout and I'm not giving it out.
Yeah. I think that for if we ever had to raise $100,000 in a day, the Forbidden Riffs episode, the live show is a great idea.
All right, what do you guys think? Should we wrap it there or do one more kind of?
Let's do one more question.
Yeah, okay, this one's a little it's nice. It's a nice one.
Hey boys, Ed here, huge fan of the show. My question is, as a relatively new father, what cultural products outside of Barney should I be exposing my kid to? And are there any sort of physical or mental conditioning exercises you recommend to raise, sort of a second generation gray wolf? Let me know. Thanks.
I don't know. Just think back to my childhood. I just think, maybe this is cliche, but I think reading to kids at any age is a very good thing. As they get older, just just being around books, hearing words spoken in the form of a story that's not just being told to do something or from your parents is I think it builds not just a familiarity with books and literacy, but also I think it expands your imagination, which I think is the most important thing about growing up or becoming a real human being.
Some of my fondest childhood memories are the same things, and it wasn't even anything super. The classics, Treasure Island.
The Hardy Boys.
Dr. Doolittle.
I read Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of the Redwall books. When I was
the
a
Redwall
kid.
books are great, yes. Just what the Redwall books have that Matt was talking about positively about the A Song of Ice and Fire books. Copious descriptions of wonderful food.
Yes.
Of acorn soups and
blackberry scones.
Yes.
I would just make sure that the kids got a very early exposure to hard R 80s and 90s action films like I did. Because they helped me become the man, the absolutely successful man I am today. So that is not negotiable. That has to happen.
I think as far as children's books, one of the GOATs, Richard Scarry.
Yes.
Richard Scarry, not only great lessons, who can forget when Huckle buys party food? Teaches you that there's regular food and there's party food. I loved that one. Me and my mom, when I was a toddler, we thought that was the funniest shit ever. When I would she'd be buying regular groceries and I would put Orangina in the cart, that wonderful French soda. And we'd be like, haha, party food. That was a little joke. This was the first little joke between me and my mom. And then another great thing about Richard Scarry, everyone has a job. Everyone has the dignity of work. The worm drives the car. One cat drives the bus. Great illustrations. Can't go wrong with that. And you know what? I'm going to echo what Matt said. I saw both Terminator films at a very young age.
My parents wouldn't let me see Terminator 2.
I was allowed to do anything. Because
my parents are pretty strict with media consumption. I had no video games in my house. They wouldn't let me watch rated R movies. I could only watch a half an hour of TV a day.
That's why you're into scary movies now.
Yeah.
Because you feel like you need to make up for lost time by watching a movie about a ghoul. Meanwhile, I don't have that need.
Now, back to my original point, though. I really think that raising kids, it's you raise a kid today. I don't think you can. I think you should be wary about unrestricted computer time, but I think you should you can't fight too hard against the fact that media, the internet, video games, all that shit, your kid's gonna be exposed to it, and it's gonna it's gonna order the processes of their mind in one way or another. And I think the way to counteract that is by exposure to books, about reading to your kid. And I truly believe that the goal of education, either as schools, as institutions, or you as a parent in the raising of a child, I think you have succeeded if at some point before they turn 18, your kid takes it upon themselves to find a real book for adults, and read it cover to cover on their own because they want to, not because it was assigned to them. A lot of the books that you have to read in school are all terrible. They all stink. But it's important. You got to build up those muscles, and I think like if you can get your kids to the point where they are seeking out authors and books on their own that they want to read for no reason other than pleasure, that you have succeeded in educating your kid, and that like really whatever they get on the SATs or fucking grades in school really don't matter half as much as that.
Great. Should we leave it there?
Yeah. Thanks for the questions, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
we got hundreds of these, so
yeah,
we're
I
gonna
transcribed
we're
like
gonna be milking this cow for a while.
300 questions.